Oh, it's a sad day. A very sad day. My garage music player, the old ThinkPad something, whatever it was, 300E, 600E. It's written here somewhere. 600E. It's got like a Pentium DOS, 300 something megahertz, and a huge whopping 256 mega RAM, decked out with Windows XP, state of the art. It's got all that. And what happened was we had a power outage a couple of weeks ago. Now, this thing sits here, stays running 24/7, 365. I never bothered to shut it off. One problem with it is a dead CMOS battery. I never bothered to replace that because it stays on and there's generally never any need to. However, when the power goes out on it and I have to reboot it, there's like a secret handshake, where you put finger there and hit that and you got to do like all this crazy stuff and that. I came in here because it was time to reconfigure the garage for spring. Put the snowblower in the back here and get the lawnmower out, all that kind of stuff. And while I'm doing that, I'm like, oh yeah, it would be great to have music in that. No, can't have that kind. Great. All right, so basically here's what I got. Power adapters here. I'll go ahead and plug that in. Find the other end of the cord here. And disconnect that. And that's it. And if you remember this machine, there's going to be links in the prescription. Hard drive's just open there. I had to Dremel out the case, and then my Dremel died. And I'm trying to use the Harbor Freight job. It was not a good time, but I did finally get it to work. And that's all I need. Take a look. You see all that? That's back in the day when this thing was new. Manufacturers were putting that like rubberized coating on stuff. None of us knew that years later that's what you'd get. It gets all... I tried scraping it off. It wasn't going well, so I said it could just look like a pile of shit. It's for the garage. I mean, what do I need in here? It just needs to play music. Of course, there's going to be the eco-green freaks that are going to be saying, oh, well, why don't you get one of those little China MP3 players and that? I got 12 of them I could put here, yes. But this also doubles as a digital picture frame. I got 4 or 5 of those. Put one of those there. It'll display pictures and play music at the same time. But I have this. So it was dead. And I said, oh, man, that sucks. It's all set up for the application that I need it for. I don't need it for anything else. It plays music, displays pictures. That's all it does. Putting another system here, I'm like, oh, God, what do I have that I could put here? I have another machine I was planning something else for in the future, and the future never, hasn't come yet, so I don't know. all kinds of great stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, man, I can't believe this thing is dead. So here's what I would get. Plug it in. You can open this all the way up. And you have a series of lights here. When I go to turn it on, where's the switch? Here we go. Just a little, I don't know if you can tell, a little blinky yellow light. Goes click, 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 click. No bueno. So I said, well, this is dead. That's great. And I'm sure it happened after that power outage. So I said, all right, let me go ahead and see if it's the power adapter. So I brought this downstairs to the washmatory, and I put it down, and I already had pulled the hard drive out, pulled the CD-ROM drive out, pulled the Linksys wireless card out, because this don't even have that kind, pulled all that crap out, and it still wouldn't power up. Now I remembered I got one of those multi-voltage, multi-laptop, universal type jobbers like that. So I got one of those out. Plugged it in. And thank fuck, it worked. So all we have is a dead AC adapter. No big deal. I went on Fleabay, and you can buy all kinds. They have universal ones. They have ones that are meant specifically for this machine, and they're Chinese made. They're no name, nothing. And for like a couple dollars more, I could get a genuine IBM one. So I'm like, it's probably safer that way, even though it is older and probably has a lot of hours on it. I found one on eBay. It said it was working and tested, good condition, blah blah blah. Includes the power cord, which I don't need because it's already here and plugged in. And just today, I got a package. So I know the laptop works. So once I've opened this, there is a power adapter in here. Oh wow, it's exciting. There we are. It's a little beaten up. It's not too bad. It's here. Part number matches, all that. It's got this wrap on it. I don't need any of that crap. I don't know what any of that is. Don't need that. Everything wrapped up in the wrap. There's a power cord. This is one of the Mickey Mouse thigh over here. It's got the Mickey Mouse going on there, so we definitely don't need that. And that's really it. As I go and tie the cord in a knot, we can now see. I will unplug that. Hard to do with one hand. There we are. Plug that in. There is no green clean light on this adapter, which is a shame, but such is. So that wasn't an indication to me. We'll go ahead and take the crop top over here. We'll plug in the cord of the new adapter. It's the same part number, so it's right. And now for the first time, let's see if Fleabay has failed me or not. Oh, Dick. Little dusties on the screen. It's there. You can see it. Time and date aren't set. So I'm going to run through. I'll just show you little bits and pieces here. It says error 161, 163. Those numbers, by the way, date back to the original IBM AT, because that's a time and date error. The PC and XT didn't have that, but these error codes date back all the way to then. They were still valid even when this thing was new. So we'll hit OK. Let me set the time and date here. That's close enough. We'll hit OK. It goes beep, 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 beep. And then goes to reboot. And then gives a very nicely cryptic screen that means absolutely nothing. So it says IBM and it says ThinkPad at the bottom. That's a start. We got a beep. What the hell does that mean? ThinkPad in the background, and it says turn it off. And I will tell you that if you turn it off and turn it back on, you'll get this screen again. So it's very cryptic. Here is the secret handshake. Press and hold the F1 key on this model. Power it on and keep holding that F1 key until something different happens. Turned on. Still got our screen up here. It beeped. I think we can let go about now. Aha! There we are. Have to go over to Startup. and power on. And I usually reset, and then we do floppy, CD-ROM, and hard drive 1. Hit OK, and then we hit exit, and then you have to hit restart. If you don't do any of that, then it won't save the changes. Then it asks if it's okay. We hit OK. So otherwise it won't save the changes. Doesn't give you any indication. You just have to know this. And now it should go ahead and boot up. So we should see our wonderful Windows XP loading screen. But first we're going to see a progress bar, which is like you would see in Windows 2000 if anybody remembers that. There's the progress bar and Windows XP. There we go. Beautiful. Let this boot up and we'll test her out. Okay, that's all good and fine. This is my automatic backup of the digital pictures that runs. That takes hours, which is fine. I don't care. We got to plug in the audio cable, which should go here, if that is the right port. I believe so. Turn the stereo on with the tape deck adapter. Double click the Muzak, and it's loading, so we gotta wait for that. It's doing it's loading is what I'm telling you. Still loading. It's got one job to do. It's doing it. It's just old, you know. So you get slower in your old age. Should work. Yeah. Used to work. Not sure what's. Oh, we got something. Hey! I said to myself, oh shit, Susan. So we gotta end that right away. And I'll just leave this chooch because in a minute's time, it's gonna go and display pictures. So I'll come back when it does that. It's gonna start. It says reading pictures, please wait. I think we've done enough of the please wait bit. So we're just, waiting for that. Wants us to wait, so there we go. Oh, a black jiggly cat and a monkey. They've since passed. But anyway, that has digital pictures. That's going to be slow because the music's playing and it's running 4 backups at that time. What? Oh, a remote. Yeah, I got a remote for the stereo too. This one's got a remote. Doesn't work though, because I don't keep batteries in it. It's nice because I can be at the big garage door and I want to turn it on, turn it off, change the volume up and down, and I use it twice a year, so there's no sense in doing that. But indeed, Jay Shoutcast there, can't play that for you, but it's there. So the long and the short of the story was, thank frig, because to replace this system is not a problem, but it's just a damn shame because it's all set up, it's got one job to do, and it does it. And there it goes. It's displaying other pictures and doing its thing as slow as it goes and whatever. Music doesn't skip. Sounds fine. Everything works well. Speakers were from Sharky 626. I had other speakers, but these are better. I have nicer ones back at my parents' house, but I can't get that kind right now because they're like tucked away under a room full of stuff, so I can't get them, is what I'm telling you. Anyway, one day, maybe, I can swap for those, but these sound pretty good. Everything's there. Man, those pictures go slow when there's a backup going on. It'll go, but it's just the latency, and then it's wireless, which is dumb because I have Ethernet out here. I just never, like, it's by the door, and I just never put it here. Just because. I mean, it works wireless. It's supposed to. And I have no idea what fell. That was very odd. I have no idea what that was. There, a new picture. Oh, it's Grandpa Lion. Grandpa. Poor Grandpa. Sad day for the pussy kittens that have passed. So for the tune of $14, 0.28. Exactly. Or so. It works again. I'm happy about that. It's just nice that, because if the board in this thing failed, if it got blown out because of the power outage, I'd be so pissed because of all the work I put into this damn thing just to get it to work. But now it works again, so I have resurrected it. We have pictures, and we have music. And I can't play the music for you, but it works again. I am thrilled. And like I said, this sits here and stays and runs 24/7, 365. I don't have a give a shit in the world, and it just does its thing. It could be 20 degrees out. Could be 18 degrees out. Even 4.2 degrees out, approximately. And it runs. It doesn't care. It even has a little fan inside, and it turns on and off when it needs to, and it's noisy, and it still works. Even in the freezing cold, it doesn't have that, like, bearing noise or doesn't have any of that. It just works. There we go. Nice deal. I am very happy that it works again. And that was the whole point. So, fortunately, I had one of those universal adapters that I could test it with first, because I don't have any more of this kind that fits it. And I was able to test that, verify that was the problem, and then found one on eBay, no problem. And that was it. Also, I mentioned before how I took this downstairs to test it out with the universal kind. I ended up naming this machine Scabby Pad because you saw how scabby it was. Bringing it down on top of the washer was not a good idea because all that black rubber coating rubbed off on the washer. I had like 6 spots I had to clean. And it doesn't just like wipe off or spray it with a little spray. No, this is like grease gunk. It's horrible stuff. So fortunately, it only comes off a little bit on my hands. So that'll take a few days to wear off because washing it off just doesn't. But everything works again. And I've repeated that, I think, about 4.7826 times. About. So that's going to do it. Thanks so much for watching. I have my music back. I can hit the button straight. Oh, yes. Got my music, my picture frame, and the garage is once again functional. A lot of outdoorsy stuff happening now. Going to be starting the AC soon for the AC twerps. The garage fan soon for the fan twerps. You know, things like that. A lot of outdoorsy stuff. Pool opening. All that's coming up. So stay tuned for that. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you click like. Make sure you click subscribe. and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.